Hi, and welcome to Biteable Live. My name is Jared. Welcome back to our live show. You'll recognize the lovely face to my side. Arena has agreed to join us again. Thanks.
Hello. Nice to be back.
So today's episode is really driven by demand from you guys. Every show we've done, we've always had a question about how are you doing live? What software do you use? What technology? How are you hosting it? All these kind of questions. And well, to be perfectly frank, we're learning as we go. But we thought the best thing we could do is be true to live and share our learnings so far. And I say our learnings, in which case, I mean, Rena's learnings because she's the mastermind.
Oh God, don't go talking me up like that. Actually, I'm a little bit nervous about today's topic because there really is no blueprint yet for using Facebook Live. Everyone's sort of figuring it out a little bit as we go. Even the big players, even the big businesses are still, figuring out what will work best for them.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought about it being when you sort of said Facebook Live, my first thought was, oh no, that's for, millennial kids and influencers holding their iPhone up and doing a little selfie with the camera. And you've educated me that it's different. And the big thing has been for me that it's not just for influencers, it's for small businesses and large businesses. So I think it's worth kicking off just talking about it. So if I'm a large corporate, let's start that end. If I've got a big company, how do I convince my bosses and my boss's bosses that Facebook Live is something that we should be considering?
I guess coming to them with the data to begin with would be a good start. Just because as organic reach for your regular posts on Facebook is declining, you're seeing that the effort that you're putting into writing these beautiful crafted posts is not actually getting seen by anyone unless you throw a lot of money behind it. So using Facebook Live gives you the opportunity to get word out about your business for free in a medium that people are engaging with more and more, rather than, your regular links or like beautifully polished advertisements in some cases, and regular images as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I must say, even with Biteable, I mean, we're not a huge business, but we had that fear of, are we going to come off looking amateur? We spend so much time polishing the Biteable product. There's that fear that if we do live and it's not great, it may come across wrong. But I think we can both agree, everyone who's made comments and who's, especially on the chat that's live, which while I think about it, if you are watching live, drop a comment in below. We're live. We will read it. And if you haven't got anything to say, just send us a little love heart because we like seeing them float up on the screen. But we were worried about that, and then we realized actually everyone's supportive of live. Everyone likes to get behind a company that's willing to put themselves out there. And I think one of the first comments we got was someone who just popped in the Facebook chat when the first show went live and said, "It's so great to see the people behind Biteable." And I think for both you and I, we kind of stopped and went, "Oh, you forget that people don't know that there's actual staff behind Biteable," which is great.
Yeah, it was this beautiful way to create a community around what Biteable is, and who the kind of people that are making up our community as well. There's no better way to engage with people than in a as much of a simulated real life environment as possible.
Brilliant. And then on the other side, of course, if you're a small business, fear not. I mean, most of this is going to hopefully be, this episode is going to be practical tips, things that we've learned to show you that actually you don't need big studios. Most of this can be done. There's different versions and budgets that you can approach Facebook Live with. And so hopefully, if you've got a small business, if you're a single operator, you'll come out of this with some real practical tips and you'll go, actually, maybe I could do Facebook Live as well. That's our goal. So what we might do is might jump straight in and talk about a few of the key things. And I think obviously the first thing is getting over or forgetting the fear. Pitched it in at Biteable. Everyone kind of looked around, well, who's going to be on it? And then you kind of see everyone turn around and look back at the marketing people who suggested it. And it's like, oh, it's going to be us.
Well, us, yeah.
Look, obviously, I don't need to say that neither Rhea and I are professionals. Obviously, you can tell that. But you can see that anyone can have a go at this. I think I personally have made a mistake every single episode that we've done. and I haven't died yet. Yes, I've been embarrassed by it, but you also stop and you go, it doesn't really matter. People are actually really forgiving. The person who it hurts the most, or you think is most effect, is actually you. And when you get over that, you realize, it's fine. So I think, yeah, if you can forget the fear and get over that, take the plunge. I actually think, and I think, Rena probably, I'm sure Rena agrees with me, but live has given us this great ability to we just record off the cuff. If we were doing this and recording it and I made a quick mistake, we'd stop, go back to the beginning and record again. And we might be facing 8 hours of recording. With live, it's done and dusted. Whatever comes out, comes out. So if you can get over the fear, well, you'll never probably get over the fear, but you kind of got to just run with it, I guess.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, even on your live news broadcasts on TV, or not even just news broadcasts, but just live broadcasts, people make mistakes there too. And those, some of those are $1 million productions. So don't feel too bad if you do make a mistake, because it really doesn't matter. Fantastic.
So when it actually comes down to getting practical now and broadcasting from Facebook, Rena, can you give us a bit of a run through about actually how we go about doing this? Because you do it, not me. You've got all the knowledge so far.
So I guess what we'll talk about today is the 3 tiers. So broadcasting from Facebook itself, broadcasting using a software called OBS, which is what we've been using for our live so far, or broadcasting from another software called Be Live, which does have some pricing tiers associated with it. So we'll start by talking about broadcasting directly from Facebook. And now, the type of business who this might suit the best is the type of business that might be a smaller operation, or maybe a business that can really leverage the responsiveness of using your mobile phone as your streaming platform, rather than your desktop webcam, or an actual camera as well. So it's as simple as going to your business page, looking for this. Sorry, I'm gonna share my screen. So you'll go to your business page, and you will, in your post status bit of the screen, you look for this camera icon, and then all you do is tap Go Live. And then you'll open up to this page. So I took this screenshot from my desktop computer, and I blacked out the screen because I didn't want you to see my face at the time. I was still pre-coffee. But it will show you a preview of your stream. You'll write in something about your live video, like, hey, we're coming to you live from this event that we're at. Ask us a question about anything that you've had on your mind to do with our business. You choose your camera. You can share your screen if you're streaming from a desktop. Add in a title for your live broadcast, so maybe the name of the event that you're at, and you just click Go Live. And it's actually as simple as that.
Fantastic. And if you click Go Live, is there a warning? Is there a fail safe, or you live that instant?
I believe that on a mobile phone, you'll have the option to these are split into 2 screens. What we're looking at here on a mobile will be split into 2 screens. So yeah, you'll see the test, and then you'll get a notification that you will go live. So when you're live, you'll know you're live. Don't worry. I've also popped here an example of a business that does this type of Facebook live streaming really well. And that's a business called Scoop Boot, and they're in the equine industry. And I think this type of live streaming suits this business so well, because they're an outdoorsy company. They work with horses. They're out, they're outside all day. And the type of people who are going to be watching these videos don't want to watch someone sitting at a desk because they don't, or screen share, because it's just not relevant to them. They want to see their product that they want to buy, or maybe buying, being used. And they want to, see, the founder of the business with his sunnies outside in the sun with a cap on as well, and you can see that, this business, what we're looking at here is entirely organic views for this business. And that's 13,000 for a fairly small business, and lots of comments, over 100 comments from people that are asking really relevant questions to the business. So what is the purpose of this? Can you explain this? People are really engaged with this video, and it's such a simple thing to do.
So they've done all of this. This is your classic simple approach. This is just an iPhone or a smartphone. Hold it yourself. There's no equipment. There's no filters. There's no production here. This is just real life, raw Facebook Live.
Yeah, exactly. You know, for a minute there at the start of this video, I think the person who's taking the video is, you know, wobbling around a bit, just making sure that she's live, and then, you know, pointing it at, you know, various things. So, I mean, it's not perfectly produced, and it's better because it's not, I think.
I agree. I think, and that's where it matches with the business really well. If you want to be a real business, I mean, look, it's horses. It's very much, it's literally, you know. So keep it real. If you know, I guess if they overproduced this, if it was all backgrounds and filters and people, it just wouldn't feel as real, and maybe actually disingenuous to where the business's persona is, where you sort of, yeah, they're playing above who they really are, and maybe alienate their potential customers. So I think it's a smart move.
Yeah. Well done, Scoop Boot.
Yeah.
So the next type of live broadcast I want to talk about is what we've been doing. So what we do is we use OBS. Actually, no, sorry. Before I talk about that, what I'm going to talk about is scheduling.
Yeah.
Sorry, I skipped a bit. We're talking about scheduling your Facebook Live session. Now, scheduling your session is really important so that you can market it, so that you can market your event and make sure that everyone who you want to be watching it has the opportunity to be available to watch it. I don't know if you wanted to add in your 2 cents about marketing Facebook.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's a bit of a battle. So we would like, ideally, our dream is to boost our Facebook Live post. But at the moment, for most businesses, you can't boost a Facebook Live announcement. Like, so when you say we're going to go live, what Facebook does do brilliantly is anyone who's really been engaging, who's liked your previous Facebook Lives, they're really engaged with your page, they will get an alert. So the minute Rena schedules our post on live session on Facebook, some of you will be getting alerts in Facebook saying, Biteable is scheduled to go live. So that's great. That's a bit of free organic reach. And then as the show gets closer, Facebook will remind those people and say, yep, you know, it's about to go live. It is live. Facebook, you know, Biteable is currently live. So you get all that extra boost. But the thing about scheduling is, I guess the real life example is people can actually plan their time and their day around it. So in our minds, what we'd like for you is to go, oh, I'm going to block some time out of my diary, tune into Biteable Live on Facebook and learn something. So scheduling's better because you get those extra organic notifications to your super fans, if you like. What we've been doing as well is creating an event because you can promote an event. But that's, you know, I'm going to be really honest, that's a bit of a lumpy way for us to approach it because you're creating an event for Biteable Live. It's a bit convoluted. I strongly expect that Facebook will allow people to start promoting their Facebook live sessions that are scheduled in more convenient ways sometime next year.
In the future.
Exactly. And we know that some people can, right? So big influencers, big brands have been given that ability. You know, there's rumors and tips. I mean, at the moment, my working logic is that if you've got an authorized blue tick Facebook page, that you can actually promote your live on Facebook before. But it'll happen. Yeah, it's just Facebook. Facebook's not going to stop people from spending money promoting themselves on Facebook for very much longer, I don't suspect.
Awesome. I'm just reading the comments, and Mel has said, Mel, who's joined us, has said, tools. Yes, that's what I need to know. So sit tight, Mel. We'll start talking about OBS and Be Live as tools you can use for your live streams in just a minute. But yeah, let's talk about scheduling now so that we can do what Jared was talking about, which is promote our Facebook Live through channels that we already have. I mean, I'll show you as well how we do that. So what you want to do to start is go to facebook.com/live/create. And now my understanding at the moment is that you can only schedule your Facebook Live if you use a third-party tool. So one of the tools that I'm about to talk about or other ones like it. You'll click this button here in the middle, so you'll create your stream, and you'll see this page. Now, don't be off-put by any of the letters and numbers that are jumping out at you. This page is super easy to use. All you need to do is pop in your description here, the title of what your live will be about, and you'll click schedule, which is down here at the bottom that I think I've cut off here accidentally. So once you click schedule, you'll have this window pop up. You'll upload an image that you want to be going there. You'll set your scheduled start time. Now, that can only be a week in advance. And that's the furthest ahead of time that you can schedule your live. And you'll click schedule. And a post, something like this, will show up on your Facebook feed. Now, to get the unique URL that you can share with everyone to, in your email lists and anywhere else that you like, you'll find if you just click the timestamp on this post that you see in your feed, and it'll take you to the URL that you'll need. This page or this post is really important. This is my admin view of the post. But if you're a follower of that page, you'll see a get notified section here that I'm sure all of you who follow Biteable click on every time you see that we've scheduled a live session. And what that means is exactly what Mel said in the comments here, is that you'll get a notification when we do go live. So what I do recommend, just a little hack here, is to use a short link builder to when you are sharing that link out. And that's just a little bit of security, because when you are going live, sometimes you'll start a live session and you're like, oh, the audio doesn't work, or something's going wrong. I'm just going to stop this one and start a new one. But if you sent out an email to your entire subscriber list with that one link, then whenever they go through to it, they're going to click through to it. They're going to be clicking through to the wrong link to a Facebook Live that doesn't work. Whereas if you use a short link builder, so Rebrandly or Bitly, we use Rebrandly, as you can see, you can actually edit your destination URL. So you can, pop in the Facebook Live that actually worked, and that's where people will be directed. In terms of marketing, your Facebook Live, do it via your email newsletter. It's such a great place to put it, especially for your very first one. So all you need to do is just pop in a summary of what you're going to be talking about and that unique URL. People will be able to go through and get their reminders. And that's it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'll do now is just quickly run through some of the the hardware. So we're going to do hardware and software, if you like. And hardware or tools or the right gear I think it's important, but there's levels, right? So you can probably see Rena's got her microphone in front of her Blue Yeti mic, and I've got, hold mine up, same thing. I'm a fan of the Blue Yeti mic because it plugs into the USB input. So you don't have to worry about kind of understanding wires and things. It's just plug and play. It's a good quality microphone. It's got the right condensing, and you can set it up to point in the right direction. So we've got our microphones set so it's only listening to us coming directly at us. So I think, for a price point, I think these microphones cost about $175 Australian, so that's about $120 USD. So not a huge investment, massive difference to the quality. So using a laptop microphone is probably one of the main things you want to avoid. On the flip side, and I'll put that link in the chat. The other brand that I've used is the Rode Podcaster microphone, and we'll put that link in. Two equivalent types of product. Most of the time, your laptop camera is going to be sufficient. So I'm using a Surface Pro, and I'm just using the laptop camera up the top, pointing at it doesn't really help. Rena's doing the same. Very rarely are you going to need to actually get a professional camera. You will know from most people who are doing the quick version is that your iPhone or your smartphone is going to be perfectly fine. Probably the biggest thing is about location of the camera. Rena schooled me on this one. So my laptop is set slightly up, and so my camera is sitting literally at eye level with me. And that just helps me hopefully look at you when I'm talking more often, rather than where my laptop would normally be, which is down. And the last thing you need to do is see my receding hairline on top of my head while I talk to you. So from a hardware point of view, that's probably the main thing. You can also, if you want to extend onto lighting, you don't have to buy lighting. The main thing with lighting is just to make sure it's right and make sure most of the light's in front of you and it's lighting up your face and not much around you. So I've just got a spotlight just sitting directly in front of me, so it's shooting straight into my eyes. But that's just so that, you know, I'm clear and everything else isn't. And the other cool little trick that we've got is that I personally at the moment have a green screen behind me, and a green screen is just it just says that you have a standard bit of green fabric behind you. It doesn't need to be purchased professionally. And we're using Zoom, and Zoom actually will detect my face and then project a picture behind me. So what you're seeing behind me right now is an image that I've uploaded into the Zoom software, and I could change that to be whatever I want. So, you know, none of this is overly expensive. You know, probably the one thing I would recommend buying is the microphone. But other than that, you probably find you've got everything you need. You can set the lighting up yourself without needing to actually buy anything. You just need to get into the best location. So that's kind of the gear that we use. As you can see, we don't use any headphones because generally speaking, the software takes care of the bounce back of the noise. So from this point, we're pretty much into, the different types of software that we might be using, I guess. And as Rena pointed out, we've started using OBS, which I knew nothing about until we started this. And I still don't know that much.
Yeah, just quickly, I'll show you, I'll share my screen and show you all the, a couple of different examples of tools you can use. I know Mel was keen to hear about that. So some tools that you can use and that we'll be talking about today is BeLive and OBS, but there are so many more out there, and Facebook actually do recommend, have their recommended providers, but here's some that I'm familiar with and have used before. So vMix, Wirecast, Crowdcast, and Zoom. So we were talking about Zoom before. We actually use a combination of Zoom and OBS. But if you're looking for something really, really, really simple, Zoom is just a video conferencing software that you can pipe directly into Facebook. So you don't even need to go into Facebook. You set up that connection in your preferences and you're done. So if you're looking for something really, really easy, Zoom is really good for that and basic.
Yeah, I like Zoom. I think you made the comment just before the show that if you go longer than half an hour, you do have to pay for Zoom. There is pay.
Yeah.
But it's not a huge amount of money. And the fact that it comes built in with the green screen software is a really nice feature that you might feel like you need to pay for separately. So, And look, Zoom is, you could use Skype, but Zoom is a little bit more professional, and we don't have that little Skype logo in the top corner. So,
yeah, you will have a little Zoom logo in the bottom corner if you do stream to Facebook, though. So just FYI. Look, I've got a lot that I want to share with you guys about OBS. So I'm going to try and move through the next 3 screens as quickly, but as thoroughly as possible at the same time. So I'll share my screen now again and show you what OBS looks like. So OBS is really simple to use. It's open broadcaster software, so it's open source, so it's free. So that's what it stands for.
I had no idea what it stood for.
There you go. It's written by a lot of developers, and it's we all love open source, so yay for that. And if you're just starting out, it's a great choice. Because you're not making this massive investment that some live streaming software is actually pretty expensive. So if you're just dipping your toe in the water with this kind of stuff, then this is a good option for you. And it's really simple to use. I am not great with technology. I'm really not. But even I figured out OBS pretty quickly. So what I'm going to take you through is how to set it up. So you can just go online, search for OBS on Google, download the software. It's for Mac or for Windows. And when you open it up, it'll look something like this. Now, I'm going to draw your attention to scenes and sources and these 2 windows here. So scenes are essentially a set of pages, while the sources are where you build what you want on each page. So you can see here for our scenes, we've got our waiting room, which if you've watched a few of our lives, you'll be familiar with, or if you've watched this one from the start. So we've got our waiting room, we've got our intro video, and we've got our session itself. That's me earlier today. So you can see in each that the sources change depending on which scene I've chosen. And this is pre-prepared so that when I'm doing the Facebook Live, I don't have to quickly build all this while I'm in there. All I do is just click from scene to scene. In the first two scenes, you'll see that the only source I have is a video, and I'll show you how to add that in. It's really, really simple. And then in the session scene, I've got a couple of different layers there. So first of all, I uploaded an image, which is my background, into sources. And this is just by clicking a little plus symbol in the corner there of the sources box and clicking upload an image. Not rocket science. I promise you can do it. So you upload your background. I'll talk about audio in a minute, but you do need to make sure that your participant's audio, if you've got a guest on with you, is being connected through the audio drives in your computer and not coming out of your computer and back in through the speakers, which really, messes with the quality of your video. For us, we've screen captured Zoom on our computers and then shown that on our OBS screen. So all we've done is logged into a regular Zoom meeting. You can use Skype, you can use, Google Hangouts, whatever you prefer. And then, taken a little screenshot of that window and then placed it in OBS. And OBS will actually walk you through doing that. If you click again that little plus window under sources and you select window capture. And that's how you'll capture the Zoom screen. And then we've got our little live icon in the corner as well. And that's all we've done is place that in as an image here. So you've got image here as an audio source that you can add. And all you're doing is uploading files from your computer. Really easy to do. And so you're just adding layers on layers on layers until you've got the kind of look that you want. So you can add in your name tags, you can add in scrolling banners, have a play around with all the different types of sources that you can put in there. But just as an example for you, if you want to upload an intro video, you will create your scene. So just click that little plus sign, name it intro video. You're going to sources and you'll select media source and then you'll name it. And then you'll find this box and you just click browse and select the video from your computer. You want to make sure that it'll loop so that that every time you click back on the scene, it'll show up again. And then you click OK. That's it. It's really, really, really simple.
Great. And we know lots of people actually use Biteable videos for their intros using OBS. Like it's a
yeah.
And that's one of the great uses of Biteable is that people create nice, interesting, engaging intro videos that loop, so it's kind of like it's a great thing to have. I think even OBS has a Biteable video on their website, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe I am. But
exactly.
Yeah, so I think it is a little bit daunting. It's new technology. You've got to get your head around it. But you can see all the transitions we're doing, all the layouts, everything's been set up in OBS. And I think for us, we spoke at the beginning about small businesses and large businesses, and I know Bitable's somewhere in the middle there, right? And so, that little bit of extra effort, all the transitions you're seeing, the framing of our screens, that's all being done through OBS, through free software.
Exactly.
And I think it adds a nice professional layer to what we're doing. But at the end of the day, it's still live. So it's still people talking and making mistakes, but hopefully a little bit more professional. And look, we're not out and about. So it kind of makes sense for us to do it this way.
Exactly, for the type of business that we are. And we've, and for any other businesses that feel it's relevant, they want to add in sort of maybe a little bit more of a slick look, maybe a bit more of a professional look. All you need to do is, if you're watching this, there's a good chance you know about Biteable. So you make your video with Biteable and you get to pop it in here and add that extra layer of professionalism to your live video as well. Definitely as a waiting room video, as you're waiting for people to join or you're just getting organized in the background, Biteable is really great for that. And actually, I have got a Biteable in the wild video I want to show. I know we are going over time in this session because there's so much to talk about. But if we don't have time, I'll pop it in the comments as well. But one more thing I will say, because I do want this live to be as practical as possible for people. I can see Mel's tagged a few people. So I want you guys to make sure you get all the value that you can, is the stuff around audio. So one piece of software that we've downloaded that it is, again, open source, I'm pretty sure, it's called Soundflower. And what Soundflower does is in our OBS preferences, so just clicking File and Preferences, we select it as an audio drive for our audio output. So instead of Jared's voice coming out of my computer and back into my speakers, Soundflower is the piece of software that connects it all together behind the scenes. And when you are putting in your scenes, for the scenes that you have someone that you're interviewing in and you want them to be heard, make sure that you select audio output capture and type that in as webinar participant audio, and you'll see here, like in the bottom on my mixer, that webinar participant audio shows up there. So that's a little step that took me a minute to figure out, but yeah, hopefully that helps.
Brilliant. So our setup is obviously we've bolted a bunch of things together. A lot of the reason is because we've done it as we've been learning. So you can see we're using lots of different software, not lots of different, but a few different bits of software bolted together. I think there are, Brenda, are there all-in-one sort of broadcasting solutions that people, if they want to pay for it, could be using?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Just quickly before we move on to that, I'll be really quick. I just do want to show you how to connect to OBS and Facebook itself. So we talked about earlier about how to schedule your Facebook Live. So you've scheduled it and you've got your schedule there. You've set up OBS. It's looking beautiful and you're ready to go. All you need to do is go back to when you're ready to go live, go back to your post. You click admin only, edit your details here in the corner, and you'll see this page again. Now you'll copy your stream key here. Just click the copy button. Really easy. Also, you can add in a poll if you like. We haven't yet used this feature, but we definitely have plans to in the future. And go back into OBS, click File and Preferences, and you'll see this screen. Now, all you need to do is copy your stream key from Facebook over into OBS. Just make sure your setup looks something like this. And click Start Streaming. And now when your stream is live, you'll see a preview in the admin window. Now, if you hop out of that admin window, your Facebook Live will automatically roll over into live at the time that you scheduled. But you can also manually start it beforehand as well if you like. But just remember that that's the order of how it all goes. So you're not clicking there waiting for your live stream to start and in Facebook, but you haven't started streaming from OBS yet.
Yeah. If you've scheduled it, we come on. We always have that moment beforehand, and the countdown that you see on Facebook, if you're watching it live, is the same one that we see. So we've got to be ready for it.
Exactly. Mel asked if we are doing it ourselves or on the go, or if we have someone running OBS for us. We have someone else running OBS for us. In the very first live that we did for Biteable, I was a guest and I was running it at the same time. We managed, but I'm not going to pretend like I wasn't a little bit stressed out about it. I was a little bit. It depends how complicated you want your OBS setup to be. If you've got a really simple OBS setup, do it yourself. It's going to be completely fine. But if you do want to get a little bit more fancy with it, it would be useful probably to have a hand with that like we do.
Makes sense. Brilliant. Well, I'm just conscious of time. So maybe, I'm going to just go back to what was the all-in-one software that or the options people could do. If you don't want to bolt everything together and you just want to have one interface and do it yourself, what's the best option that we know of anyway?
The best option that I would suggest is called Be Live. And I'll share my screen and show you what that looks like. So rather than OBS, which is a piece of software that you download, Be Live is something that you can use online. So on your, whatever type of computer you have, whether Windows or Mac. This is what it looks like when you go live. Super simple, and it is a lot easier to use than OBS. It is a lot easier to use. You can add in your logo, you can add in your brand colors as well. And everything that you need to run your Facebook Live will sit here in this dashboard. It's less customizable depending on what pricing tier you're on. But if you're in, the more affordable pricing tiers, the less expensive options, it is a little bit limited. If you want to see an example of this being used, have a look at Mary Smith. She's a very well-known Facebook marketing expert, and this is to the best of my understanding what she uses to go live. If you're a one-man show, it's a great piece of it's a great tool to use, because rather than having to pipe in Zoom and all these other things, you copy this link here, you send it to your guests, they show up in the waiting room, and then you can, show comments on the screen as you go. It's a really cool little tool. That being said, there is a price associated with it. So this is just what I got from the website this morning. So this could change. So definitely check it yourself if you're watching this later. But yes, depending on what your budget is, you are going to be paying for that. Some of the functionalities that OBS has for free, you'll be paying possibly up to $500 a month for. So yeah, definitely worth exploring OBS, I think, if you're still just dipping your toes in the water. These guys have a 14-day trial though, so that also helps.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where, I would predict in the future, Facebook's going to add more and more features into what they're doing with live. They want more content. They want more videos. So I kind of expect that a lot of these features will start to build in, and you're going to get a lot more players in the market. Some people have been doing live for a year, but realistically, like Rena said at the opening, this is a pretty new space. The rules aren't exactly written. Part of us doing it is to learn at the same time. So people will be quite forgiving about it. In 5 years' time, I think there'll be some standards and everyone will expect it to be done a certain way. But right now, do what you think is right. And then, like if the cost is too high or the technology is too hard, that's why you go back and you do your selfie to an iPhone. You can just click a button and go live. So it's all about horses for courses, so to speak. But
exactly. Cool.
Brilliant. Well, just what we don't do, we probably won't. Maybe just share the Biteable Live in the comments, and then everyone can have a look at that later. So, thank you so much, Rena. I think hopefully you guys can see that we not going to make it up as we go, but we've been learning as we do it. And as we learn more things, we'll attempt to share it. Facebook Live is a natural extension for a video marketing company like Biteable. But do have a go, give it a try, share it with us. Tag us in some comments and let us know so we can check it out. If you're using a Biteable video on the intro, we'd love to see it. We'd love to see Biteable in the wild. And we'll, whatever support we can give you, we'll try to support you as well. So good luck with it. Don't be too fearful. Have a go. You'll be surprised. And just remember that at the moment, Facebook is very keen to promote Facebook Live. So you'll get that organic boost if you are willing to go live and give it a push. So good luck with it. I hope everything's been helpful. I've learned quite a few things. So thank you, Rena, for your time and your advice. And to everyone else, thank you for joining us. And we will see you next week on Facebook Live.
Yeah. See you guys.